There comes a time in every man's life when he realizes the greatest battles he'll ever fight won't be fought with swords or words, but within himself. The battle against anger, against fear, against that voice that tells you to quit when life gets heavy. Most men lose this battle every day, not because they're weak, but because they've never learned how to master their emotions. They react, they explode, they let the world control their mood, and then wonder why they feel powerless. But the Stoic, he is different. He has learned the secret every great man must learn. You cannot control the world, but you can always control yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That is the essence of Stoicism. To be calm when others are angry, to be grounded when others are lost, to be in control when chaos surrounds you. The untrained mind is like a wild horse, powerful, but dangerous. It runs toward pleasure, away from pain, and crashes into walls built by its own emotion. Every time you react with anger, you give away your power. Every time you lose patience, you surrender your control. Every time you let fear dictate your choices, you let the world define who you are. That is not freedom. That is slavery to emotion. The Stoic understands this. He doesn't suppress emotion. He studies it. He observes it. He asks, "What is this emotion trying to teach me?" Because every emotion is a teacher, and if you listen long enough, you'll start to understand yourself. Awareness is the first step to mastery. When anger rises, don't react, observe. When sadness creeps in, don't drown, breathe. When fear whispers lies, don't obey, listen. The Stoic practices presence. He doesn't let emotions drag him into the past or the future. He lives here, in this moment, because this moment is the only thing he can truly control. Meditation, journaling, reflection. These are not weak practices. They are weapons. Each morning, the Stoic writes to himself, not to impress the world, but to remind his mind who's in command. He reflects on his mistakes without judgment. He observes his thoughts without attachment, and in that stillness, he sharpens his awareness until nothing can surprise him, because calm is not the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. Pain will visit you, again and again. Loss, rejection, failure. The world will test you. Most men run. The Stoic endures. He knows that pain is not punishment, it's preparation. It burns away the weakness that comfort built. It teaches patience, humility, and focus. When life gets hard, the Stoic doesn't ask, "Why me?" He asks, "What is this teaching me?" Because he knows the world doesn't give pain to destroy him. It gives pain to shape him. Every scar becomes a symbol of endurance. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson in detachment. Every failure becomes fuel for growth. He doesn't run from the fire. He walks through it, because he knows that fire can't burn what's already forged in discipline. Discipline is the armor of the Stoic, and it's not about punishing yourself. It's about protecting your peace. He wakes early. He moves with intention. He keeps promises to himself when no one is watching, because he knows that emotion follows structure. When you live with order, chaos can't control you. Every cold shower, every early morning, every silent decision to keep going is a victory. And those victories build something stronger than motivation. They build character. The Stoic doesn't chase pleasure. He chases purpose. He doesn't seek comfort. He seeks clarity. He doesn't react emotionally. He acts intentionally. That's the difference between the lost and the powerful, between the broken and the unbreakable. Imagine this. The world is falling apart. People are panicking. The noise is deafening. But there, standing still, is the Stoic. Eyes steady, breath controlled, mind clear. He doesn't need to shout to be heard. His silence commands more respect than another man's rage, because calm is contagious. Stillness is strength, and presence, that's power. He has mastered the art of doing nothing until it's time to act. He knows that patience is not waiting, it's preparation. When the time comes, his actions are swift, sharp, and certain. No emotion, no hesitation, just purpose. That's what makes him dangerous, not his rage, but his restraint. The Stoic has no need to prove himself. He doesn't compete for validation. He doesn't beg for understanding. He knows who he is. He's fought battles within that most men run from. He's faced his fears and befriended his silence, and that's why nothing outside can shake him anymore. You can insult him, he stays calm. You can betray him, he forgives quietly. You can leave him, he remains whole. Because his peace was never built on others. It was built on himself. That is the highest form of strength, not control over others, but mastery over the self. So remember this, you will face storms. You will be tested. You will fall. But every fall is an invitation to rise stronger. Every pain is a chance to practice patience. Every silence is a space for transformation. The world will always be chaotic, but your mind doesn't have to be. The Stoic path is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about walking through life not as a victim of emotion, but as its master. Control your mind, and the world can never control you. That is the power of a Stoic. That is how you become unbreakable.